killed Live 105.3? Who killed Live 105.3?
Episode 5, Good Times.
That period at Live 105.3 and KYNG with you guys and part-time I was with Ron and Don were just some of the best years of my life. I forever hold true memories. Just so happy and forever will love you and thank you.
I've had such a great career. I've been so blessed, but nothing compares to what we had at that radio station.
Man, like 105.3, the way y'all would do events and all that other good stuff, you know, like, man, it was just an event, man. And it was like an event that, like, you know, like, it was like being a part of a secret society.
I got to meet different comics through you that I was a huge fan of. You let us hang out. We'd go over to the comedy club, met Bill Burr and a bunch of different cats through you guys. So it was an amazing time.
That's why I love you and Headcrack. We let you hang out. We didn't let you hang out. It was cool.
I got to come to your crib and hang out. You know, it was awesome, man. So that's how we saw it.
One of the members of Duran Duran had really bad body odor. For like,
oh, that happened too, doesn't it?
You know who it was, but the halls were just filled with body odor. We're like, I think it's a member of Duran Duran. I think somebody in Duran Duran is not showering today. Here we go. Bob, you want to explain this one?
Oh my God, no. Did I really? I did not really. With Ron Jeremy?
Yeah.
That's a stunt double.
Because didn't you take some heat for bringing O.J. Simpson into the studios?
Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, that was one time. I remember that was one time, Russ, was, I think he got on the air and took a real high road about domestic abuse.
Did he now?
And Shaggy wants another Mountain Dew. So I have to get up off of my ass and go walk all the way around all 3 studios to where they have the freebie cooler in the conference room to get Shaggy a Diet Mountain Dew.
Both you guys, man, and y'all rap group would come out and we'd have shows and y'all come out and rock with us, you know.
That's part of the overlap. And I don't know if you ever went to any of these shows, but some of the parody songs that Eric and I would make and perform on Bugs and Kelly, we would end up doing live on a stage just as some sort of comic relief between
and kill it. But kill it. That's why we were like, these dudes is dope.
Would you say that the word skanky is like a good fit?
Oh, 1,000% yes. I mean, you don't want to set your stuff down on any kind of surface anywhere in that studio.
We were the skankiest radio station I've ever been at.
But it wasn't allowed back then.
You know,
I look back now and I see myself in more pictures with porn stars. Yes! and I'm like, how can I ever explain this?
You can't.
Other than this place was just a zoo.
It was a zoo.
Dean Lewis.
You know, we could just do whatever we wanted. And Gavin was, just go for it. That'd be great. And, you know, one day we were giving away some concert tickets and we just said, hey, the first 3 guys who come down here, we're going to have you do underwear races down the hall. Remember the narrow hall?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. And these 3 guys came and they stripped down to their underwear and we filmed it, them racing down the hall on their hands and knees. Their knees are torn up so they could get tickets to something. I don't remember what. So, you know, we would just do whatever. Announce I was getting divorced on the air, you know, and I know I'm not a handsome looking guy, but all these women started, you know, and this was back in the MySpace days.
With Tom.
And they were like, hey, I'm so sorry you're going through this. If you ever want to have lunch and talk about it. And I was so naive. I was like, yeah, let's go. Good. And the next thing I know,
this is great.
You know, I'm in some girl's apartment and there's just things going on. And, you know, this is when I have 2 little boys. I'm going through divorce. But the weekends they were gone was great.
Everybody else in the station cluster was in that beautiful building with all the modern stuff. And then us, the cash cow, the money makers, we were in some barn in the worst part of town.
And remember, you get there in the morning and there was the security fence that would open, and there's barbed wire on the top.
Yep.
183 in Metro Media.
Yeah.
I I mean, I love that spot because you could drive down the street and get on a dead end and get baked
Yeah, there was.
before your show. Like I would just like crawl in that, like down in that cubby down there, and I would just get like fried and then come on in.
Forgot about that.
Oh, the
It's
best,
such a
right?
sketchy area. Those studios over there off Carpenter, a year before those studios came to be, they had beautiful studios on Merritt Drive in North Dallas in a beautiful office building. It was gorgeous. And then once they made our station, it's like they said, this is too skanky. And they moved us like over by the massage parlors.
Jasmine Sadri.
And what's funny is during one of our meetings, it was like sales and talent and blah, blah, blah. We were trying to, brainstorm about some stuff. So I'm sitting there and I look over and I'm like, oh my God, I think those are glittery ass cheek imprints on the table. In fact, I know those are. And so we're all giggling quietly to each other because we know what's going on. But this was kind of the beauty and the shit show that was Live 105.3. It's like, you just kind of went, another day in the office.
Did you ever have sex in the office? Because apparently everybody else on the show, except for me, everybody else had sex in the office. Everybody. I'm looking at my partner, Kelly, too. Everybody apparently had sex in the office.
Yes, I did. Yes.
Head crack.
I was invested from the very, very beginning. And I remember I lived not too far from a place you guys was doing like a remote. And I was like, oh, word, I got to pull up. It was that place where they used to do like the hot wing eating contest. And y'all would do dodgeball. Duke's Original Roadhouse on Beltline. Hell yeah. So when I found out y'all was doing a broadcast from there, I was like, yo, I'm pulling up. And I met y'all was cool as hell, inviting, you know what I mean? And like, man, it was just, I don't know. From that moment on, my respect was just forever cemented for what you guys brought to the table, because I've never heard a show like your show prior to hearing your show.
In our crowd.
We'd go to Duke's all the time. We'd be out there partying with y'all at Duke's when we got off the air, man, at the club. Yeah.
105.3 had everybody from the Bubbas to the Mexican dudes, to the black dudes, to the super white trash, to the transplants. 105.3 had a lot of transplants. There was a time when I was running around with a crew of dudes, and every single one of them was born somewhere else. There's a dude from New York. There's a dude from Detroit. A dude from people. I mean, that's what the station was sort of non-exclusive at a time when most radio formats were extremely exclusive.
The dodgeball teams, legendary. And I followed y'all to multiple locations to play dodgeball at various degrees of good.
Dodgeball started because dodgeball was something that I tried to do in Chicago. When I was with Kevin Matthews, we were brainstorming ideas, and I said, look, dodgeball, we should play dodgeball. And everybody's like, what? And this is probably 1996, 1997. Kevin Matthews, my host, loved it. He was totally into it. He was like, that's a great idea. So when I got here, we needed something big. We needed a big event that could be weekly because we wanted the extra money, but also it needed to have an opportunity for a major sponsor, not the local muffler shop. We were looking for Miller or Budweiser, or, we were looking for a big title sponsor for an event. And that's when I just threw out dodgeball. I said, and I lied and I said, we did it in Chicago. It was a huge success. We never did it in Chicago. It was never done before. It was never done before here. But it caught lightning in a bottle, and it was just a massively successful promotion. I would dare say that there was no other. I name another ongoing radio station promotion that went for 3 months every week at the same time that would draw thousands of people weekly. I mean, I don't know. Kid Craddock did some great stuff, but did he ever do that?
No, I've never seen anything on that scale that was repeated that often to draw the crowd every week.
5 years for 3 months, every year for 5 years, every Wednesday night, or I think it moved to Thursday night, but it was an off bar night. It was the reason was, how do we pack people in the bars that isn't a Friday, Saturday? Franny brings up a really good point. And this is maybe an interesting story in and of itself. Where is it? There it is. Duke's is synonymous with dodgeball, but Duke's is not where dodgeball began.
Yeah, it was like beach volleyball place was the first time I saw it.
Dude, let me tell you something. When you talk about, and I was there for the planning stages every step of the way, I mean, with management, trying to get sponsors, trying to find the locations. It's like the NFL going from like 1920 through like 2000, right? I mean, just watching the way dodgeball changed. It started at this place. Franny, maybe you know that it was like a volleyball place, and they had a basketball court. So it was all sand except for a basketball court size blacktop. And they decided that we would just use that, but we would, fence in and play dodgeball there. It was awful. There was one course. I can't even believe that it continued after that. It was so bad. The thing that worked about it was we drew. For some reason, we drew interest, and it was a terrible game. And, but they were very happy. And then when the next year came, when it was time to do dodgeball again, all of a sudden the sales department, because they had these incredible numbers from the last year when they didn't give a shit and they just put us anywhere, they had these numbers, they decided they were going to step it up. And that's when they that's when they approached Budweiser. And when Budweiser came in as the title sponsor for like hundreds of thousands of dollars, Budweiser put us in. Yeah. Oh yeah. That was one of the biggest. Oh yeah. That was hundreds and thousands. 300 grand. I think that was what the last one I remembered with Bud Light was. Every year they just whittled a little bit away from what was cool about that promotion until it was just a smoldering mess at the end. What were we saying? Oh, so speed dating. Yeah, I thought that was fun. We got great bits out of it. You did incredible stuff. We got great stuff with you in a microphone.
KLLI, Dallas, Fort Worth, live 105.3. You are listening to Pugs and Kelly on Live 105.3.
It's the alternative talk station, Live 105.3. Hey, it's Pugs.
And Kelly.
214-787-1053 is the phone number. Let's do this. Last night at Duke's, James, he was out there with a microphone, speed dating every Wednesday.
And what's your name?
Delane.
So have you met any nice guys tonight?
Yes, I have.
When's the last time you got laid?
You want that laugh on the radio?
Yeah, it's already gonna make it.
Do you really want?
No.
He asked me a question.
What the hell's the matter with you? Where did that laugh come from?
Oh my God.
That is awesome. There is one there that is so. Oh.
Now let me ask you. Let's say this girl's your girlfriend.
Right.
Do you take her to a business dinner with your boss?
No. So like out of nowhere, she's just like.
At least you would be memorable to your boss.
Yeah, I guess.
You really want?
No.
Oh my God.
Do you really want?
No.
Do you really want?
No.
Don't. How does that happen to people?
Oh, I like how even James has broken character because now he's laughing.
Did you hear her friend?
No.
Her friend in the background goes, "Stop." She's like, "He asked me a question." It's like scolding her for laughing like that.
Oh,
that was
I
awesome.
like James recognizing right away, going with, "Oh no, it's going to make the radio." Oh no.
Oh no. Don't worry about it. Whatever you do from this point forward, you'll be on tomorrow. This is too good. JD, you're on Live 105.3.
Oh my God, guys, you have got to put that on your website so we can download it and send it everywhere. That is the most funniest thing I have ever heard.
Oh, shit, have you ever heard anyone be able to talk through their laughter?
Not like that.
That was unbelievable. John, you're on Live 105.3. John.
Hey.
Yeah.
Hey, John.
I'm on the side of the road crying here.
Eric, one more time for John.
All right, here we go.
Hold on, John.
And what's your name?
Delane.
So have you met any nice guys tonight?
Yes, I have.
When's the last time you got laid?
You want that laugh on the radio?
Yeah, it's already gonna make it.
Do you really want?
No.
Stop it. He asked me a question.
What the hell's the matter with you? Where did that laugh come from?
the matter with you? Oh, James, that is great. It's the Midday Show with me, Pugs.
And me, Kelly.
On the Alternative Talk Station.
Live 105.3.
Do you really want to know?
This is Pugs and Kelly on Live 105.3. Coming up at 3, The Russ Martin Show on the Alternative Talk Station. Live 105.3.
Larry Stanley.
Well, I did a couple of them. The Buzz is probably the first one with Tommy. Yeah.
With Buzz, yeah.
Tommy, right?
Tommy and Larry.
Was it a drinking show?
Oh, they were awful, man. Look, I loved them, and it was a fun show, but they were it was like Larry, with all due respect, we talk about how skanky that station was. you guys were like the king skanks on weekend. Strippers, frat boys drunk in the parking lot, throwing parties at 2 a.m. Tell people about the Buzz.
So, yeah, that was one of our big things. I know you used to come hang out, Pugs. We called it a parking lot party because we were 21-year-old kids on the air Friday and Saturday nights from midnight to 2 a.m. So we couldn't go out to the show. So we thought we'd bring the party to us. So we would just tell everybody, hey, here's the station address on Merritt Drive. Bring your own beer. Let's drink beer in the parking lot after the show. And listeners would show up with cases of beer, and we would just drink in the parking lot.
It was an electric gate that closed automatically, so you could have like a big giant parking lot party. The police couldn't come in. The gates were electric. They were closed. You were on private property. It was essentially on Saturday nights. I remember we'd be out running around. We'd be like, let's swing by the station, see what's happening. It was basically like a high school backyard keg party every Saturday night going on in the parking lot, and management didn't care.
Or was it broadcast live?
Yes. How do you think we knew to stop by? Yes, it was.
Yeah, Billy the Kid used to come by. All the cool radio guys used to come by our parking lot parties after. They would all show up.
Chaz Knight.
When I first met this guy, I didn't know anybody. I knew nobody. I had just gotten off a plane. I was living in a hotel. And all of a sudden, the station hands me off to this guy and his little sidekick, who he called Potato Head, who I was just like, yeah, there's this new guy I work with. His name's Potato Head. What's his real? Kelly and I didn't know his real name for quite some time. And as I said last night, he had seemingly, to me, coming from the outside world, been the guy in charge of the entire marketing and promotions department. Now, that was because of a situation I touched on a little bit, and we'll talk about more. The marketing director at the station at the time had cancer and was fighting for her life. So the origin story of all the great promotions, all the great parties that this station was known for, especially in the first 5 years of it being around, this is the guy who put them all together. This is the guy who was taxed with pulling off the white trash parties and pulling off all the dodgeballs, all of that stuff. He's got some stories. He was a fly on a wall, ladies and gentlemen. Chaz Knight joins us.
Oh, geez. Oh, God.
Remembrance. It was it was a pub crawl. It was one.
My God.
You know where I'm going. It was a Halloween pub crawl.
Oh, I knew this was coming. I thought I was going to escape by.
It's one of my favorite memories. There's nothing, man, and it's hard to say because, you be compassionate on that. So Chaz was between relationships, as Chaz often was during big live personal events, always available to mingle. And you were with a listener. You were hooking up with a listener in the bus.
Okay, listen, this pub crawl was suicide to start off with. We were going to like 8 bars in like 6 hours, okay? It was like you go to a place, you drink 2 beers and a shot. Next place, 2 beers and a shot. Next place.
Yeah.
Well, by about the 4th bar, I was so lit, and I saw this hot girl. And
she was gorgeous.
Gorgeous girl, right?
Gorgeous.
And so I just kind of snuggle up. Hey, what's your name? Just trying to be nice.
And you were Chaz?
She was alone. I didn't want her to feel like she was,
So you took advantage. She was alone, and I took advantage. But
That's not true. I did not take advantage. She took advantage of me. But so I snuggled up to her, and we just hit it off. And like about the next, I don't know, 5, 6, however many bars we went to, I might have blacked out at some point. I don't know because I can't remember. But we ended up back at her place at the end of the night. I don't even know how we ended up there. I don't even remember driving.
Hopefully you didn't.
No, I think she drove. But you know where I'm going with this story, right?
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell it? Is it okay?
Yes.
Okay.
That's what we do.
Is it okay?
I was wasted. Well, I'm not here to hurt anybody's feelings or call anybody out.
Well, right, I know, but we pointed it out. Okay, so look, let's.
So I didn't know.
You
You have to
didn't
tell it now.
know. You didn't know. We're like, because she was gorgeous, and that's all you saw, that she was gorgeous. And so he's like making out with her on the bus, and we're all like, and their arms are around his arms.
One arm was around me.
His arm is around her, and he started. There was like this weird. Basically, she only had one arm, and Chaz never noticed until he was holding her and
she didn't have a hand. She didn't.
Beautiful girl. Wouldn't have been a deal breaker for me because she's a beautiful girl. But you were so drunk you didn't realize. So awkward hug where you couldn't. I don't know. That's how we perceived it.
No, I didn't know it the whole night. Okay, so we get back to her place. We're walking up to her apartment. And she goes, "Oh, let me get my keys." And then she was like, getting her key out, like, and I looked and I went,
oh, no. Like, now you're sober.
like, wait a minute.
That's
like, where did her hand go? Her hand.
What happened?
Yeah. And so we go inside, and I'm thinking, I'm just drunk, right? I'm drunk. That was just.
I can't.
He really has a hand. It was just missing.
Yeah. It just. Must be a thing.
And then she came out of the kitchen holding something like, I can't even do it. Like, it was just like, that's all. That's what it was, like that.
Yeah, but because you don't care and because everybody's deserve, you still slept with her and never called her again. It didn't matter.
How dare you?
You treated her like you would every other girl.
That is not true. We had a pleasant conversation. And a couple beverages.
Uh-huh.
We fell asleep. I woke up the next morning and I went home.
Cody Burleson.
What is your best memory? Give me, if you got one story, you got to give us one story about your time at 1053 that would pretty much sum up what that nonsense place was. What would your story be? What would be the story you would tell?
It's one of my favorite ones that I tell my coworkers now, and then I can still believe it. And even telling the story, I have to like pull myself back. I'm like, that really happened? Okay, it really did. Because there was a lot of those nights. So the one I remember is we went out to the Improv one night. As we did all the night. All of us. You, I think Kelly was there for a bit.
So it was one of those nights on a Friday where we just took over the Improv because the headliner
pretty much
and did the show with us, and
Sean opened the door so he lets everyone in the back table.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah, exactly.
So we all just decided we'll meet at the Improv. Here's how it used to go, right? We'd meet at the Improv for like the 8, 9 o'clock show. No one would commit to the late shows because we wanted to go out and party afterwards. So we'd all meet, we'd have our nice tables, and then we'd go from there. So it was one of those nights. Okay, continue.
So I would like to correct you. Not always, because sometimes on the Saturday shows, we would stay for the 11 because that's when the guests or the comics were the most like juiced up, like and drunk. So typically it was more entertaining.
And that was date night though. Saturday night
True.
late show because that's date night, and you got to bring the new girl that you just met, and she's going to be impressed that Sean pulls the velvet rope for you, and you can skip the line and yada yada.
So I was just going to say, not exactly that, James, but whether or not I was sticking around for the late night crazy body show it depended almost entirely on if I was with a girl. And even then it depended on what girl I was with. Because there were certain girls that I dated over the years who would have been cool with that, and others who would have been like, can we go and meet up with my friends? I had a couple of those too. So, but yeah, the late nights, the really late night ones where we would stay and do all 3 shows with them and then go out with them afterwards. That was always just the boys.
Right. So in the story though, do you remember the comics?
Yes, I do. It was the pairing of Don Jamieson and Florentine. So it was those two always. So they were there. And I think this was a boys' night for the most part. I think most of that it's blurry, but I just remember it was the late show on a Friday or Saturday. So it was 11 o'clock show. And so we sit at our normal table, our usual table, so to speak. And it's just any other comedy night we go to. And obviously, we all kind of made jokes about it through the night, like during the different jokes was the prime time table was that big long table right in the middle, like that was like dead center of the stage was the biggest table.
Yeah.
Because we kept looking because that table didn't look like they belonged because it's Addison, people, it's date night, people dress in nice stuff, so to speak, in a way for, like a date night. But this group,
traditionally it's the bachelorette party table. It's the
right.
giant table where when you come in with 16 drunk girls, that's where they sit them right there in the middle of the room because they're a good target for the guys on stage.
Right. This wasn't that group. So we didn't realize till about halfway till Florentine actually acknowledged who they were. Because we did not know, because at the time we knew Florentine was a big metalhead and so was Jameson. He actually acknowledged it. It was Pantera that was in the crowd because they were huge fans of Florentine and Jameson. So it was so that's what I'm saying. Just imagine Pantera, the band, and all the rockers sitting at the middle table in Addison at an improv club.
For you, that had to have been amazing as a little Texas metalhead.
Yeah, I was like, really? I was like, it's just, there's so many questions.
With Pantera in a comedy club. Mm-hmm.
Right, which you don't see. So anyway, we go through the whole show, everything else. So typically, we never really did the last show because it doesn't leave you a lot of time to go drink because of how late that show goes. Typically, it's like 1:30, and then most of the time we have to like literally walk across the hall to Pete's because we can't make it to any other bar before they close.
Right.
At this time,
Pete's being the dueling piano bar across the hall from the Improv Comedy Club.
So we're sitting there, and so we're all talking, and hanging out with the comics after the fact. Somehow, I don't remember the context, but Pantera was all of them talking to us with Vinnie Paul and everybody else. All he knew is we were fans of Florentine and we were in. They had the idea to go back to the clubhouse for an after party that night, and we all got invited. And so my favorite.
You go?
Oh, absolutely, I went. Are you kidding me? So I just remember because
did I go?
I feel like you did for a bit.
No, because there's been a number of those, and I've skipped out on a couple of them.
You might have.
Where someone, I'm not going to name any names, had to learn the hard way why we don't kiss strippers. Was it that night? Is that what we're talking about?
No,
I wasn't there, but I heard the story.
No, that was a different story. No, that was not that.
All right,
that was not
back
that.
to your story. So
Anyway.
we're now what? We're over at Pantera's Clubhouse, which is a gentleman's club here in Denver.
Well, not yet. So I went before we get to that part. It was, of course, one of our friends was asking because it is BYOB. It's you have to bring your own. At this point, we're not going to get to a liquor store in time to get there. To provide what we need. And this is one of the best lines I've ever heard anyone say. Vinnie Paul put his hand on whoever it was and just said, dude, it's called ownership. We got you covered.
Hey, Pantera boys.
Yeah.
Wonderful boys.
So we get there and we have their own little section, everything else. They open up a closet of just floor to ceiling. It looked like it was a liquor store in a closet because it essentially was. And they were just passing out drinks left and right. They didn't know who we were.
See, now, what people need to understand, what people listening need to understand, you think, oh, well, they went to a gentleman's club and what? They've got a liquor room. No, this is a dry gentleman's club. This is a gentleman's club that if you want to, they cannot sell alcohol. You can bring in your own. It's BYOB, but they can't sell alcohol. And the Pantera guys, because it's their clubhouse, they literally did. I've actually been in the pantry room that you're talking about, which is just, it's like a liquor store that is just right back to where all the strippers, right next to where the strippers change.
Right. Mm-hmm. And the reason they do that is not just because it's a pain in the ass to have a liquor license, but the laws on what the girls can and can't do changes with the withholding of the liquor license.
Yeah, fully nude, right?
And how late you can stay open too. Yeah. Because if you sell alcohol, you have to adhere to the 2 a.m. thing. If you don't, stay open as long as you want. I know this because I left at 6 a.m. So
it's a great night.
There's nothing like, I'll tell you what, I was named Lou Dobbs's his financial report. I was his backup for years, the great Lou Dobbs. And I remember them calling me into the office and asking me, hey, do you want to do this over at Salem? And I said, yeah. And I flash back to running naked on the tollway with Russ, or hanging out at, what was that club, that nudie bar that Pantera owned? That Daryl
Clubhouse.
Yeah, so I'm sitting in these meetings with all these people, that consider me, quite respectable in the business. And I'm like, yeah, remember that time we were at the nudie bar with Pantera? And
the guys from Pantera come down and decide that they're going to come out and drink. And so we do that. I don't know who was all in the RV, so I'm not throwing any names in, but somehow Coke comes around. And so like Coke in the RV.
Wait, the Pantera guy showed up to party with Mickey and Coke?
Yes.
Was suddenly around? Oh, get out of here.
The night just completely degraded quickly. That's the main part that I do remember. In the morning, woke up in the RV. There's mirror glass all over the place. There's one of the stools that was like built into the ground is now just laying across one of the extra beds. The whole thing is trashed. And like
the RV.
Yeah, so the RV was actually brought in by one of the sponsors. And so this was like the first thing that Mickey had to kind of answer to was the state of the RV when we brought it back.
So do you know who which particular or specific Pantera guys showed up? I'm guessing it was Vinny, because Vinny was a big 105.3 fan.
Yeah.
So what'd you get? Did you get a Vinny and a dime, or did you get like Vinny and his like? Because sometimes Vinny will just show up and you'll be like, Pantera showed up. But really,
that's right. Yeah.
Which is fine because he's one of the primary Pantera guys.
No. So this happened at the time we were doing really late nights. I want to say that at the time we were like ending at 11. At one point, though, we were actually ending at 2, which was just crazy. But
2?
But by 11, I'm 3 days in. I'm getting used to the idea of like drinking through the shows, and then 11 o'clock, 11:30, they walk in. Honestly, I don't remember who it was. I just remember there were a lot of people around, and
Who killed Live 105.3? Who killed Live 105.3?